It says on the screen, you're live. I don't really know what that means. You're live. You're alive. Yeah, I'm a few minutes early, but this is my break and just, working on this old fence down here. I volunteer my time and what little bit of expertise I have in the field of construction. I volunteer for GPC, Good People Company. GoodPeopleCompany.org. I'm plugging it today, okay? It's a good organization. And we're trying to do a lot of really cool things. Most of it does center around criminal justice reform and that type of thing. There's no doubt about that. But there's also other elements, other projects, other things. It's hard to explain, except to say that Good People Company, hey man, what's up, Dom? GoodPeopleCompany.org is all about building better human beings. I'm just trying to promote our website and our organization, which is called GoodPeopleCompany.org. It's a 501c3, and like I say, our main mission is to help build better human beings. So we develop courses, we develop different types of projects, like impact type projects. Things that I guess are viable and effective, or more effective than other things. Let's put it that way. I don't know how much of an effect you would actually want to have, right? Would you want somebody, if you yourself, we all know the process of personal transformation, right? So, but if you could snap your fingers and be automatically transformed, would you want that? Wouldn't that be missing out on all of the valuable lessons that you learn along the way? What would be the point if it was that easy? But yeah, my nose is not this color. I know some of you guys are making fun of me, saying, ha 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 ha, look at his white nose. But I can assure you, this is only sunblock. And I don't know why, but my nose does seem to be a little bit sensitive to the sun. I think my skin is generally, I didn't see the sun for so long, for years and years. I tried to get into the sun. I craved the sun. I was like just mad about it. If I knew that it was a certain day and a certain time when the sun was going to be in the corner of a certain rec yard, and I couldn't wiggle my way around and get there for rec, I'd get in my feelings about that. I wanted that sunlight. And when I did get out there, it just felt good to have that sun on you. I really craved it when I was in ADX all those years. Back on. Yeah, I just donate my time and efforts, expertise, which I really don't have expertise. I used to be, years and years ago, I was into the building trades. I was a licensed residential building contractor in the state of Michigan. So, I had a little bit of experience, but as things go, yeah, I mean, you can see, Dom, that now it's starting to, I mean, that fence is nice and straight, right? That fence is nice and straight now. Tomorrow we're going to cut off the top of it where it's uneven right there. We're going to take all that old rail off the top, and we got brand new stuff to put on there. So it'll 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 start looking a lot better very soon. But overall, it's going well. It's an opportunity for me to like promote certain kinds of values, certain kinds of trainings, really. Because it's like this fence, right? This fence was like the neighbors right here. See the neighbors? How crooked, how it's leaning out and all that. That's what this fence was. That's how this fence was like that all the way down. So little by little, incrementally, with leverage, with different devices, I pulled it back into place. And now it's going to be stabilized in place. So hopefully it doesn't move. But the problem is this: you've got a grade on this side of the fence that's about probably 4, maybe even 5 foot lower than the grade on this side of the fence. So that's a little bit of a predicament with a fence line. It should have been anchored at the neighbor's ground level. That's where the post should have been put in at. All this should have been excavated, but he didn't want us working on his property. So we had to do it all from this side. And this is the way I engineered it. This is the way it's happening. So I don't have any doubt that it'll work, that it'll hold. There's a lot of different little odd features in this fence repair. You're not gonna see this on YouTube, no, doubt it. But having a good time and hanging in there. Generally doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm looking at this calendar thing that popped up. They don't just go off the screen. Yeah, in Michigan, I was in Grand Rapids area, Holland, Muskegon. That, we did do a little bit of work in Kalamazoo, but mostly Holland, Zeeland, Grand Rapids, I would say to a certain degree. We got a lot of jobs in Grand Rapids. There's a lot of small towns around there too. I liked Michigan. I liked Western Michigan. It was all right. It was nice over there. It was a nice time too. Nice time. But, if you think of things as they went down, as opposed to how they should have went down, and you realize, how many mistakes and errors that you made in judgment and choices. It's, yeah, I mean, but again, you have to live to learn, right? And it's different strokes for different folks. Some things catch, some things don't. With one person, it might be one thing that doesn't have any effect at all on another person. But, there were certain things that did happen that just kind of spiked my attention, let's say. I think when you come, like, when you're basically dead, when you've crossed that threshold, uh, and for whatever reason, you come back, you recover, you reconnect. Yeah, it just gives you a different kind of motivation, different kind of perspective altogether. Yeah, Tom. I went to, hey, Mr. Orange. Hey, William Clark. What's happening, man? Yeah, I first, let's see, my first run-in with the law was in Monroe, but that was back in 1978. Yep, that was the old jail, old county jail. Yeah, I got stories about that place too. My friend was up in there, and he ended up escaping from there, but with two other guys. They were, I guess the cement in the showers was really loose, so they just dug through there. There's Henry. Henry, what's up? Hope you're well over there, Henry. Haven't heard from you guys, man. Miss you guys. Ross Ulbricht. I don't know who that is, Mr. Orange. I mean, probably not very well informed on most things that happen in the news media or wherever. I don't pay attention too much. All right. Have a good time, country. Have a nice time, man. Dread Pirate Roberts. Well, it's all the same thing, Mr. Orange. It's like taking out a light bulb out of a socket and screwing another one in. It's all the same thing. I mean, this is just the human race, the quest for civilization, right? The quest of a bunch of hybrid beings, part animal and part something else, maybe something that has the capacity for reason or rationality. Because animals are plenty intelligent, probably have way better memories than us, right? But yeah, it's a system. That's why people that say, okay, let's do this, let's change, let's do this, yeah, I really don't see all that much changing in what I call the cage equation. Cages have been around for a long time. And, to back off of the use of them with all of the infrastructure and apparatus that's been built around this system, there's too many private interests that, ultimately control what that equation boils down to. And, they might give a little bit here and there just to make appeasements, but I don't see any monumental changes taking place. Now, having said that, I mean, in the federal system, there has been, they started. You used to not be able to get anything out of any federal court. Very, very, very rare that prisoners ever got any relief on anything, no matter how legit. So, yeah, in the past few years, federal courts have been, loosening up a little bit on, overdoing it, but they could do a lot more. Yeah, Henry, missed you, man. Missed you. Yeah, the food at the ADX, the food was okay over there. I mean, yeah, even when I left, I think, but certainly when I got there, the food was good. I mean, I think that food is a big part of correctional management. So, the people that sit around the table and plan this stuff out and how they're going to do it, they probably say, okay, let's give them a halfway decent meal. And, maybe they'll just lay down and lick their nuts and not give us any hassle or trouble or whatever. So the food was okay. It was better than most places where I've been. It was still national menu stuff. And I think it was prepared at the camp. I think the campers prepare the food for the ADX and bring it over through the tunnels. It has to be through tunnels. Yeah, I don't know a lot about that part of it, but food is all right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Depending on what cell you were moving to, you you would have to walk usually past somebody else's window. Um, not directly, of course, but just in front of their cell. But I can't really. They usually rotated going down. So, the guy next to me on the right was going to move down to the next cell, and then I was going to move into his cell. And they would just keep us moving like that. So, yeah, we really didn't see much of each other or anyone. Yeah, you know what I used to do, Miss Orange? They had a intercom in the Sally port. The Sally port of those cells, you guys know, it's got bars on the inside, it's got a boxcar door on the outside, and then on the wall, there's an intercom, a plate. It's stainless steel, and it's so they can listen to you, but it's a speaker. So I used to take my headphone cords, and I'd use them. I'd take those screws out of the plate with a toothbrush and little pieces of paper clip or steel spring. I could melt them all in there and make that same little tool and twist those out. I could work those out. And I would just hook up to that speaker a lot of times. I don't know them. I don't know them at the control, right? And I'd hook my music in. Yeah, well, the Kaczynski cell was like, it, look, it was nasty. It was nasty. I mean, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Ted had long hair, and apparently, it either was falling out because, he was having, probably some kind of issues. Maybe he was having chemo even way back then. I don't know. But some reason his hair was falling out, and it was like, it was wrapped up like it was curled around like birds' nests in the corners of the cell. And it was really weird because there was also food, like food that came straight off of a tray. And it was behind, it had been behind the TV. Evidently, he had just been like emptying his tray there. So, yeah, there was, the only place that was clean, the only place that didn't have anything but dust was the shower. It looked like the shower had never, ever been used. It was spotless, like immaculate. But he lost a lot of hair, and yeah. Well, no, Henry, what happened was the Bureau of Prisons, they used to let, way back in the day, this is way back in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, they used to let the wardens and the food service supervisors of each institution, they would give them a certain amount of money, budget them a certain amount of money for food service. And they'd decide how to use it and what menu to put on, what foods to put on. So, yeah, it differed from joint to joint. But and right around, I don't know, right around probably the late 90s, the Bureau of Prisons got smart and said, okay, let's nationalize this food service budget, this menu, so that we can control these costs. And, it probably had something, there's probably something else connected to it, probably some kind of private contracts with ex-BOP officials or somebody they knew in the Congress that put a little rider on a bill somewhere or an amendment, one of those secret technical amendments that they sometimes throw on those bills. But yeah, it is what it is. But the food used to be good, used to be decent. Now in the BOP, it's all standardized, and I guess it's all right. You can live on it. I only talked to Ted maybe once. I was trying to think if I talked to him twice, but it really wasn't talking with him because he was really reclusive. Now, there were certain people that he did talk to. He talked to Terry Nichols. He talked to a couple other, I know he talked to Rudolph. He talked to those guys a little bit, not much, a little bit. But I didn't talk to him. I said a couple things to him, and I got like a response, but it wasn't, I was just hollering over at him. When I moved next door to him, I just hollered over at him, asked him if he needed anything, He just gave like some kind of weird response. Well, Terry Nichols, I don't really know all that well. I've seen him. He's been on the range. The thing is that people don't really talk all that much. Each person, even if they can talk to another prisoner, a lot of times they just don't want to. when I first got there, I was doing some kind of exercises, burpees or jumping jacks or something, and the dude underneath me got on the vent and said, "Hey, man, you know, can you stop doing whatever it is you're doing up there? I'm trying to sleep." And in my head, I'm like, "Well, I'm trying to exercise, dude." But guys just don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be disturbed. Looking for they're not really looking for companionship or even, associations. Not really. I mean, if you've got what you need, what you can get, Sparky too. Good to see you, man. Good to hear from you. What have you been up to? No, Henry. I was never in the same penitentiary with Timothy McVeigh. Nope. Sparky 2 is hanging loose, hanging out. Yeah, those guys, I mean, it wasn't like who at the ADX? Tim McVeigh? Yeah, he was over there. He was held there for a time while he was going to trial and all of that. And I think for a certain amount of time after his trial, but then they sent him to USP Terre Haute, which, was the new death row. They had just built that new penitentiary over there. So, I mean, some guys, they know that the gig is up. They know their lives are basically over. They know that all they have is just, they're never going to get out of prison again. And they know that. So, they kind of commit suicide by, making the government kill them or trying to get the government to kill them. And a lot of guys, I'm telling you, I knew guys that actually wanted to get to death row at Terre Haute. Wanted to get there. I mean, they talked about, the guys got their own TVs, they rec together, they got a brand new rec yard and everything, and nice cells and showers, and, they would just they'd go on and on about it. And, I can't help but think that at least a couple of them probably did what they did, at least the prison incidents, like, killing a CO. I mean, you got to figure that's going to get you the death penalty, right? Yeah, they can. Yeah, they're going to have a TV over there, Henry. They've got TVs. The death row at Terre Haute is supposed to be. I don't hear much about it on any of the channels, but I haven't looked at everything either. But yeah, somebody should do a segment on death row at Terre Haute, because there's a lot of scuttlebutt about that place. But Timothy McVeigh, he knew. His lawyer, the one that came to see me twice at Lewisburg. Oh man, a Sparky, man, boom, man. I don't even know what to say, a Sparky. That is, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Super shout out. Yeah, man. Yeah, the rest of it is just, it's pretty much just this and that, I think. More this perhaps than that. But yeah, it's, oh, wow. Wow. Were you able to, were you able to, actually read any of it? I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing back where I had it, because I think it's got me in black and white. There we go. Now if I could just figure out how to get it off of the screen. But yeah, that's cool, man. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just volunteering my time here, and doing a little bit of the work that I used to do 35 years ago before federal prison. And just, like I say, enjoying the air, enjoying the freedom that I feel. It's, it's nice. It's nice. I like it. It's nice. I like the outdoors. I like the trees. I like, you know, doing work with my hands and tools and all that kind of stuff. Sat in that cell for all those years doing nothing but walking back and forth, thinking, maybe writing every once in a while. Yeah, a lot of reading and stuff like that. But I mean, it had its own benefits. But now that I'm out from that and able to get, this kind of a gig, it's cool. It's nice. Ah, yeah, yeah, cool, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Spark 2. Appreciate you very much. And I don't know what this thing, I can hardly even see in my screen anymore because, I don't know what happened there. But anyway, I'm going to get going because my break is over. It's been over for about 3 minutes and something. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to work here. And I'm going to tell you guys I appreciate you. Just keep putting your work in. Do the right thing, really. Just, yeah, Ethan. Same to you. Jimmy Gunn, what's good, man? What's up, bro? I'm going to give you that call here in a day or two because I just got to catch up on some stuff here and get a little bit of time beneath me. Tom, take it easy, brother. Take it easy, man. Just practice the art of relaxation and, just go with the flow. Just have fun, be cool, be decent. So, not that hard. Takes a little work. But I'll catch you guys next week.